First, let's look at what a complaint is. A complaint is a customer's expression of dissatisfaction with the product they have purchased or the service they have received. Whether the complaint is valid or not, from the customer's perspective, a problem exists. Think of it this way. The customer had an expectation, and there was a gap between their expectation and what was actually delivered by the organization. Let's take a look at why customers don't complain. They don't want to go through the hassle. They don't want to know where to go. Some customers don't think it'll do any good. They don't think that anyone will listen. They also may think that they're going to be treated badly because they've already received bad customer service. They feel it's easier just to go somewhere else, or they don't complain because they don't want to get the employee in trouble. All of these reasons, valid, but they certainly don't help you or your organization. So the reasons why customers don't complain should be taken into consideration when we try to make it easy for customers to complain. Customer complaints should be viewed as opportunities. It's an opportunity to improve a product or service. When a customer brings a complaint to us regarding the product or service they purchased, we can examine the situation and improve that product if there's a flaw. Complaints also give us the opportunity to develop trust and loyalty with our customers. When a customer is taken care of, they're more apt to come back to the organization. As a matter of fact, research shows that 82% of customers who are taken care of after they complain, and it's handled very well, will come back and purchase additional products and services from that organization. That means that if we view complaints as opportunities and take care of our customers, we can develop a strong bond of trust and they become loyal to our organization in the future. When we treat complaints as opportunities, it also allows us to solve a small problem before it becomes a crisis for our organization. It also gives us the opportunity to promote a positive image when the complaint is handled well. That customer will see us in a much more positive light when they've had a situation that they complain about, and then we turn around and handle it well, and they leave happy. Complaints, when viewed as opportunities, also give us the opportunity to educate customers in using the products and services more effectively. Often customers will complain because they don't understand how to use our products and services, and so when we accept that complaint, we can use it as an opportunity to collaborate with them and share how to use our products and services more effectively. When handling a complaint, there are 5 forbidden phrases. Consider your words very carefully. These words and phrases can create a negative image in your customers' minds. First of all, I don't know. I don't know is okay when you're having an engaging dialogue with a customer where they ask a question, but when they're making a complaint, saying I don't know is going to create a negative image. What you can do is turn I don't know into something like let me find out. Another negative or forbidden phrase is to say we can't do that. You're always going to find yourself in a better situation when you tell your customer what you can do instead of what you can't. Another forbidden phrase is to say, you'll have to. That will raise defenses and take a complaining customer to a whole new level. Instead of telling them what they have to do, ask them if it's possible for something to be done, and see what you can do together. Hang on a second, I'll be right back. Nothing is more important than your customer when they're complaining. Unless you have to step away, and if you do, you want to say, may I check on something and come right back to you so that I can serve you better. And the 5th forbidden phrase is no. Saying no to a complaining customer is tantamount to dismissing their complaint and sharing with them that you have no intentions of taking care of them. And no is especially bad when it's at the beginning of a sentence, because after the no, they won't hear anything else. Being very cautious of the words that you choose to use with a complaining customer is a precious and very important point when handling a complaint. Knowing these 5 forbidden phrases can save you every time and position yourself as a professional and somebody who will take care of the customers. If you want to delight your complaining customer, eliminate I don't know we can't do that, you'll have to, hang on a second, I'll be right back, and no from your vocabulary. Service recovery involves taking action to resolve a problem to a customer's satisfaction. There are 6 steps to service recovery. Let's look at each one of them. First of all, apologize. An apology can go a long way towards diffusing a customer's frustration or anger. The simple act of, "I'm so sorry," or "I apologize," is very important. Next, you want to understand the problem. Before you can fix a problem, you need to understand the problem. You want to ask probing questions to understand what's going on with the customer and why they're complaining. You'll have to ask open-ended questions that will get them to open up and explain in more depth what's going on. You want to listen non-defensively to what the customer is saying. Being non-defensive is very, very important because you don't want to heighten the emotion of a complaining customer. You also want to confirm your understanding of the problem by repeating back the problem to the customer to ensure that you both are on the same page and that you understand exactly what is going on with the problem before you can fix it. Once you have apologized and you are sure that you understand the problem, you can then start to explore and determine the cause. You have to identify the gap between what the customer expected to happen and what actually did happen, and identify the cause or the reason that that gap exists. Again, you want to use open-ended questions to probe and unearth what is going on with the customer and their problem. Next, you'll want to explore possible acceptable solutions. With a problem and its cause identified, you can start to explore ways to bridge the gap between what should have happened and what did happen. This is where dialogue comes between you and your customer, and you can start to explore what would be acceptable to them. Then you want to implement the best solution. By exploring the possible acceptable solutions and finding one that does work, you can implement the best one that you have both agreed upon. You can take the appropriate steps to implement and secure the solution and act upon what your customer has agreed to. The final step is to follow up. After you have implemented your solution and your customer has been taken care of, you want to follow up and ensure that the customer has been satisfied and that the problem has been finally resolved. A complaining customer can become very irate, and so there's some guidelines for dealing with a difficult customer. First and foremost, you want to remain calm. If you've ever seen a fire, you know probably what happens if you spray kerosene on a fire. Well, if you're dealing with a difficult customer who is emotionally charged, if they're frustrated or angry, and you don't remain calm, if you become defensive, frustrated, or angry back, it's tantamount to spraying kerosene on an open flame. So what you want to be able to do is remain calm and allow the customer to vent. You want them to release their anger, release their frustration, and any irritation that could get in the way of finding a solution. There's no possible way to find a solution collaboratively with your customer if they are in too heightened of an emotional rage. So allow them to vent and allow all of the frustration to come down. After they have expressed their frustration and anger, you can then express empathy back to them to convey that you understand the customer's problem. It's important that you understand expressing empathy and saying that you understand does not always mean that you agree. As a matter of fact, you're not using the word agree. You're saying, I understand your problem. At this point, now that you have remained calm and reduced their emotional state, and you've expressed empathy and shared with your customer that you understand, you want to start to ask questions to gain control of the situation. At this point, you can ask close-ended questions that are answered with a yes and a no. That yes and no close-ended questions maintains control of the conversation. The more open-ended questions you ask, the more emotional they can become. Now that they've expressed everything, you can use close-ended questions where they give you a yes or a no. you can gain control of the situation and get the customer focused on the problem that you're going to resolve. Throughout this dealing with a difficult customer, you want to show confidence. Confidence and calmness is very important in this situation. The more calm and confident you are, the more you'll be able to win over your customer and delight them when you do provide a solution to their problem. It's important that you learn how to cope with upset and difficult customers. Good customer service involves getting past the customer's anger, frustration, hurt, or fear, and focusing on the facts and solutions rather than negative behavior. But what's most important when you're coping with this is to not allow yourself to become upset, to not allow yourself to become difficult, and to take time with the customer and allow them to vent. Think of your own situation and an experience where you were upset or frustrated over a situation. Did that customer service rep cut you off? Did they say they had heard enough? Did they get upset or frustrated or defensive? How did it make you feel? It didn't get you to the place where you could focus on the facts or the solution. Instead, you begin to focus on the fact that now you have a customer service rep who is also responding negatively. It can take a difficult situation and make it worse. So, as a good customer service representative and providing excellent customer service, you want to get past the anger, frustration, hurt, or fear. You want to engage the customer in a way that you can focus on the solution, and then you can move forward.